So let me start with this narrative. The next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you information that you, because you're meeting professionals, can use to explain why this industry is one of the most important in the world. Tell me what you do between when you're working at home. Give me some hobbies. Who does yoga? And do yoga. Give me some more. What do you do when you've got some downtime? Climbing, thank you. Swimming. Hiking. Cook, brilliant. Foodies, brilliant. Well, let me tell you, your brain has a passion as well. Your brain has a passion. Now, the brain's never completely off. But when it's not doing anything specific, like a jigsaw or project management or responding to an RFP, the bit of the brain that neuroscientists see that lights up, they've given a name for, the default network. It's what goes on, it's what fires up when nothing else is happening. And the interesting thing, guys, that I think personally and professionally would be of interest to you, is that that bit of the brain, the default network, relates to you and me navigating our place in the social world. When your brain is not doing anything particular, it's thinking about, how do they think of me? Do I fit here? Am I rejected? How do I connect? So we are wired to be social. The default network is running when we're not doing anything else. That's a really, to me, a huge insight, that we're programmed to be like this. And you might say, well, why is that? What happened? Well, we look back. There's a great, great book, if you're interested in this, by Matthew Lieberman, called Social. And he argues that this decision, that we're going to be social, was made in almost an evolutionary bet years ago. Think about how species develop normally. If a species millions of years ago was living near water and needed to swim, over millions of years it would develop the ability to swim and be underwater and breathe like fish have. Normally evolution is after the need. But Lieberman suggests that millions of years ago our brains were programmed to be social. We were always going to be these social creatures that we are. It's not a quirk of nature. It's not evolution in the way we might expect it. And we can look at some neuroscience to explore that more carefully. Who's ever broken a bone in their body? Had a headache? Been in physical pain? Right, what do you do to overcome that pain as a human being normally? I was in Moscow 4 weeks ago, and the whole audience, in one, said, drink vodka. I'm sure that has its benefits. I'm sure that works. But what do we do when we're in pain? Cry? But what? Yeah, perfectly, absolutely. But what would we take to overcome that? Medication, probably, yeah. Maybe some of you have taken this stuff. And does it work? Yeah. Okay, great. I mentioned love at the beginning. Anyone had their heart broken? What do we do for that? Vodka? Yeah, no. Possibly. What do we do when we have a broken heart? Therapy? Yeah, true. Ice cream, yeah. Food. Here's the most amazing insight I might give you today. If you take Tylenol or anything like it, it will reduce the social pain as effectively as the physical pain. Neuroscience, the bit of the brain related to social and physical pain. Rejection, in a social context, is in the same part of the brain as pain in a physical context. You want to get over a broken heart? Take the same stuff as you would take if you had a broken leg. Who likes chocolate? Do you know when we're fair to people, that whole idea of the win-win situation, it's kind of grounded in neuroscience. Do you know when we are negotiating and we're fair to someone else, even at our own expense, the bit of the brain that fires off is the same part of the pleasure brain that is fired off when we eat chocolate. So if you're nice to people, it's like eating chocolate without the calories. It's fantastic. We like that. More evidence, more evidence. Maslow, he talks about the hierarchical of needs, you know, the triangle. Well, on that triangle, you've got love and need, sort of 3 or 4 high in the whole scheme of things. But neuroscientists now suggest that it should come right at the bottom, along with food and shelter, as a fundamental need as a human being. See, you've got red there, you've got psychological needs at the bottom, but in the yellow area there, you've got what I'm talking about. But Lieberman, again, the author of this fantastic book, Social, says that no, Maslow might be wrong. This has been around for years, everybody. 1943, Maslow was around. This was published. The whole structure of how we're seeing how important social interaction is changing. Do you know if you don't have a good social network around you, mainstream research has suggested it's as bad as smoking 2 6-packs of cigarettes a day because we're not interacting. We need that connectivity. Let's look at some quick research to finish this argument. On the left, you have a great blog from Salesforce, just from earlier this summer. Use this, guys, to promote what you do. Salesforce, research by Workforce Solutions Group, looked at what employers were saying were missing from the graduates that are coming out of the world's universities. Their critical thinking skills are great. Their problem-solving skills are great. But 60%, on the left-hand side, 60% of employers were saying, these guys can't communicate. That could be a problem generationally, perhaps, if we're saying the younger generation, arguably, possibly, are not quite as good at social interaction. In the middle there, research done by Imago with Loughborough University School of Business and Commerce back in the UK. You guys should be promoting this. Do you know what the central research, and contact me if you want this research. It's saying that in 750-person questionnaire, 96.6% of people said they preferred to meet face-to-face. These people could give 31 positives about touching someone, looking at someone in the eye, over virtual communication. They could only give 1 about virtual communication. And finally, on the right, UK business travellers, 90% of them said they preferred to meet face-to-face in research done by Expedia's business travel arm. Internationally, it was 84%, so not far off. This is out there. This proves to us. And let's just look at us in this room today. We're not having this done virtually. We're not coming to IMEX America virtually. We're not interacting in Smart Monday virtually. You've chosen, I've chosen to come and meet you, look you in the eye and see you. Airlines all empty because everyone's, Skype's here now, we haven't got to move. No, airlines are thriving generally because people are still choosing to go 6 hours around the world to meet someone for half an hour. And you might have your ecological issues about that, but nothing replaces human interaction. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to meet. As humans, we need to meet. We have to meet. This is the reality. And if there's one slide that I want you to remember, tweet, quote, and make this insight power your week here in Las Vegas, is that you are just doing as a human being what you're designed to do. And the difference with you guys is because you're meeting professionals, you also can argue that what you do as a profession, the end result of your profession, is to just allow people to do what they're designed to do. And I'd use that. If I were in your business, I'd be using that. What do? I just help people do what they're designed to do. Meet, interact, communicate, debate. So that's my argument from neuroscience to say why we, as human beings, are designed to interact. If my clicker would work. Here we go. This is what we're designed to do. So with that compelling narrative, I want to explore some science behind it. I want to look into 4 areas. We've got 3,000 bits of research. We do 6-day courses in Meetology, so forgive me if I pack a lot in and we have a short amount of time to focus. But my goal now is to give you just some practical tips, tools, techniques, ideas to help you thrive today and throughout the week. I'm going to start on top left, mental. How do you think and feel before you interact? Really important. I want you to prepare like an athlete. Social, top right. How do we interact? How do we empathize? How do we influence and persuade? Because you're meeting planners, I've added a bit about the way in which the environment in which we interact changes our behavior. I mentioned about love. I might even help you fall in love in the last bit if we go in to have some time. What a great city to have an IMEX wedding. Karina, MPI, this is great publicity. If we have time, I'll help you neuroscientifically make someone fall in love with you. That might be quite fun. Okay, so let's look at how you are preparing, your mental state. Think of yourself as a meeting athlete here. Not meeting, but meetings just generally, on a bus, on a first date. This is useful for any social interaction. Interactions at the top, what drives that? You want to be really successful at the top bit? You want to feel and think well. You wake up, you feel good. You think it's going to be a good day, your interaction is positive. You have a great meeting, you think you're brilliant and you feel good about life. These things are totally interdependent, or interactive, should I say. That's why the mental area, the yellow, the orange here, is where we start. How do you prepare? Let me ask you a question. How could you feel before you interacted with somebody else? What would be a good feeling, emotion? Any idea? Let's start with emotions. Excitement, thank you. Yes. Calm. I love the C's, the calm come out. Curious. That's an emotion and a state of mind, I suppose, as well. There's no right or wrong answers. Confident, yeah. Calm and confident often come out. Now, the reason I'm mentioning it is science and psychology can help us enter whatever emotional state we like. We're not at the whim of how we feel in the morning. We say, I got out of bed on the wrong side. I'm sorry, that's outsourcing a problem a little bit, I think. No, take ownership of it. Psychology can help us. James Laird, a brilliant American psychologist, has done lots of research. One of the areas is his as-if principle. And it goes like this. What do we do when we're happy? We smile. We're happy, so we smile. Laird has done lots of research that shows that if we smile, we become happy. Your emotions follow your physiology. And we can do, which is what's great about Meetology, we can do some experiments. Experiment number 1. I want you to turn to your partner and give them the most beautiful, cheesy smile you can. I want you to show them your molars that have not been exposed to the public in years. But here's the thing. I want you to tell them that you're having a really bad day and that you're really miserable. This is psychology in action. Smile, but tell them you're having a bad day. 30 seconds, about 15 seconds each. Laurie, if we have some music, go.